I now challenge you, the people of St. John, to take a long, hard look in the mirror of your lives and ask yourselves, as residents of this beautiful parish, have we been properly treated by the Democratic Labour Party in return for our unshaken loyalty for more than half of a century? People of St. John, I submit that from what I have personally experienced among you, the answer has to be a loud and resounding no. That's because I have been able to see at first hand the soft underbelly of St. John in the form of your needs and lack of proper representation at the hands of the Democratic Labour Party. However, I am happy to report that a new dawn is upon us, with the beginning of a new era of hope with the Barbados Labour Party. Ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore no coincidence, dear, that on the first day of 2011, I am officially introducing myself to you, the warm and welcoming people of St. John. I, Hudson, who have been walking the streets, knocking on your houses and meeting with you, the people of Edgecliff, Hattersall, Edie's Village, Malvern, Venture, Sherburn, Henley, and Cherry Grove. I have responded to the calls to visit those needs across St. John, and let me tell you, there are some needs that I have no right but not on. They are personal, so I will never mention them in public, but I have been called and it bothers me. I have socialized with you at your street parties, Juggy and Sam, entertained you by your shops, and have been beaten by your youngsters in a road tennis. How dare then the Democratic Labour Party so cruelly disrespect the people of St. John by not at an early stage bringing them a candidate to meet the people of St. John? Answer their questions and justify the position of the DLP government in these harsh economic times, compounded by their inept and inadequate management of the economy. I now say you must reject the Democratic Labour Party for its arrogance in thinking that a seat put down for them. Reject them. Reject the DLP for thinking that they can bring a caretaker for a seat in Parliament. St. John is not a some large plantation for which you can have a caretaker. Reject the Democratic Labour Party for breaking its promises to bring down the cost of living.
Give me speech again, sometime like that.
Again, I apologize today because I have to go a little open.
Right.
Reject the Democratic Labour Party for increasing taxes in 2008 when they didn't need to.
Right.
Reject the Democratic Labour Party for increasing water by 60%. Reject the Democratic Labour Party for accepting the IMF demand to increase VAT from 15% to 17.5%. Reject the Democratic Labour Party for increasing bus fares, which with an additional 50 cents being added to school children. Reject the Democratic Labour Party, Juggy, for destroying the construction industry and sending home to a life of idleness young men in St. John across the island. Reject the Democratic Labour Party for removing tax-free allowances for traveling, entertainment, credit union, mutual funds that will result in increased personal taxes for people like postmen and women, marshals and custom guards and whoever else want to think about.
Exactly.
Reject this government for its inability to create jobs, stability and confidence in its ability to lead.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are too young to know, and for those of you whose memories, and Mr. Murray, soften my words here because I'm now in politics. For those of you whose memories, but I want you all to imagine what I'm saying here, whose memories of the events might not be fresh. For those whose memories of the events might not be fresh, let me remind you, we were here before. In the years leading up to 1994, the country was on the same collision path with disaster. Right. Unemployment was 25%, I'm reminding you. Prices that time were out of control, and the currency was under threat. I, Hudson Griffith, went to St. Lucia and Trinidad. I could not change a $100 bill in Trinidad or St. Lucia. And I was too young and ignorant to know the situation at the time. It did nothing. It's a fact. And we close to that situation now. You hear we here? What we been told? We get saved from the devaluation, but you do the job. You cause it the way you're causing it now. Had no value. I had to go and change $200 at Royal Bank and walk down Marval. Oh, those of you who know Marval, walk down to Scotia and change $200. That's in Trinidad and in St. Lucia back in 1994. So you know what I'm telling you, my brain ain't going yet. The people turned to the BLP who brought them almost 14 years of non-stop progress and prosperity. And that's a fact. You cannot deny it. You, the people, gave the Democratic Labour Party a chance in 2008, and we are once again headed for disaster. Back to 1994 all over again. A lie? I know I ain't lie. I know I ain't lie. I don't mind if you're loyal to the Democratic Labour Party, but do not deny the facts. Under the Barbados Labour Party, everybody worked. That's right. Deny that. We all had equal opportunity to find work. We were able to pay our bills. We were able to eat. We were able to purchase what we want, when we wanted, and how we wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, young and old, ask yourselves the question, should we settle for what we are now receiving? Good. I, Hudson Griffith, like the then Leroy Trotman, General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, in the 1990s march with 20,000 Barbadians rejecting the Democratic Labour Party, then we, the Barbados Labour Party, now call on you, the people of St. John, to first reject the Democratic Labour Party in this by-election. I, Hudson Griffith, am here to go to every single household and meet every single person in St. John as your representative. I, Hudson Griffith, am here to faithfully represent the interests of St. John in the hallowed halls of Parliament beside Gail Marshall and George. I, Hudson Griffith, am here to continue and increase the development that has been done by the Barbados Labour Party in St. John. Even Sam, they get his land at 10 cents a square foot. You know how much he land and he owes value now? He cool as a cucumber. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I am sure that you know that I am a member of the sporting and volleyball fraternity. Ladies and gentlemen, like the two monster teams, Deacons and Progressive, Delilah, both were formidable players, squaring off for a 3 best in 5 championship match. A 3 best in 5 championship match. The team that makes the least mistakes wins the game. You understand what you know, sir? Yes. that this race is the boy and the general. So don't get tired. If we lost, no, we down the road. A 3 best in 5. The team that makes the least mistakes wins the game. This St. John by-election is the first contest. Barbados, St. John, we are in a monster of an election. The Democratic Labour Party will be trying to hold on for the 53rd year. And I, Hudson Griffith, am here to accept the challenge of being your representative. For 52 years, straight years, you, the people of St. John, have given the Democratic Labour Party more than its fair chance. I now say to you, give me the opportunity to show what I am worth, what I stand for as your representative. A vote for me is a vote for truth. A vote for me is a vote for proper representation. A vote for me is a vote for true development. A vote for me is a vote for hope. Give me that opportunity, St. John. Vote for Hudson Griffith and the BLP. Better living and progress. I am your humble servant. I thank you.